I think we need to wait.
Okay, so here using this technique, we are doing the reverse name server lookup. Okay, so first we are finding the target name server. So we are querying for target name server using the command. So once we found the target name server, if the name server is belongs to our target, then we can apply this technique. We can do this name server reverse lookup. Okay, we can just use this query and we can do this name server reverse lookup. So by doing this, we'll be getting the all the domain and subdomain names which are stored on this name server, right? So by doing this, we'll be getting all the domains and we can pass this domain. And to confirm if this domain is owned by our target or someone, so we can just do the Whois lookup for this domain, and we can check for the registered organization name and the registered email. So we have done that, and we have found that the domains are belongs to our target. So you can verify your target's domain name, and once you verify that, you can if you if you sure this domains belongs to a target, you can start your bug bounty on this target, and you can do the subdomain variation and everything. Okay, so it's a name server lookup technique. Okay, so it's clear, right?
Yeah, earlier someone asking questions, right? I don't know he's joined or not.
Okay, so let's continue. Let's look at the another technique. As of now, we looked at the name server lookup, reverse lookup. So now let's talk about mail exchange server reverse lookup. So like same thing. If the mail exchange server is owned by the target itself, then we can do the reverse lookup that also, and we can found the domains. So let's do the mail server lookup on our target. So let's run this dig command on artisan.com. Okay, so sorry. So we are now finding MX record, right? So we need to query for MX record. So here you can see this MS record is not owned by our target, right? So this is some third party. So they're using third party mail server. So we cannot apply this technique. If we apply, we will be getting a lot of false positives. So we'll be getting all of the domains, not only these Aljan domains, we'll be getting a lot of other domains also. So we cannot use this technique. So what we can do, we can pick another domain. Maybe we can pick facebook.com. Okay, so let's query MX record for facebook.com. And here you can see this MS record, we got SMTP in facebook.com. So this one is, this mail server is owned by Facebook, right? So what we can do, we can just use this domain name MX record for our demo purpose. So let's go to Netlas. So here, now we can use the MX filter. So we can use the MX filter and we can enter the domain name. So now by doing this, we're gonna perform mail server reverse lookup. So let's do it. Okay, so it's found around 2097 domains and subdomains. And here you can see, like we seen in the name server lookup results, we are getting the domain names, A record, name server record, MX record, TX record. On the right side, we are getting the results by, we can see the results by zones and levels. Okay, so let's download these results. Okay, so since I'm using freelancer, I can only download 1000 data. So let me download these 1000 domains, not more than that. And let's name it Allegiant MX record. So let's download this JSON file. Okay, so it's downloaded. Now we can pass this data. So we can use the JQ. We can do this same JQ query. So because the data and the domain field are same, right? So we need this domain field. So we are getting correct format. So we can use the last query, right? So we can just access this all the arrays, and here we can access the data object, and then we can access the domain object. And we are asking for raw data. So here you can see we are getting this raw data. So all of these domains and subdomains. Okay, so here let's use the WC on it. So we are getting 968 domains. Okay, so now if you want to grab only for subdomains, then you can use the grab, and we can grab for allegiant.com. Okay, so we can only grab subdomains of this allegiant.com, right? Okay, so I think we are getting only the domain names here. Okay, so let's save it as the domains.txt. Okay, so like that we can download this data, and if you want to confirm whether this okay, so I think I previously ran this graph. Sorry, so this is Facebook, right? So I have to graph for Facebook. So here you can see we got subdomains also. We got subdomains and also domain names also. That is great, right? So if you want to exclude these subdomains, and if you want to only the domain names, we can use the B option. We can just invert the query. And now we are only getting the domain names. For example, we are getting Instagram, we are getting this novi.net, and we are getting this daysbook.com. Okay, so we have b.watch, messenger.com. So we are getting other domains, not Facebook, right? So now if you want to confirm these domains, whether it is belongs to our target Facebook or not, you can do the Whois lookup, right? So just you can copy the domain name, and you can do the Whois lookup. So like you did it previously. Okay, so you can just perform this Whois lookup on this domain. And if you take a look at the registrant, so it's Instagram LLC, right? Yeah, so Instagram want to be FP, right? And here you can see the registered email. So here we got domain at fp.com. So this confirms these domains belongs to Facebook. Okay, so now we can store these domains in a separate file, and we can do the subdomain enumeration. We can do a lot of other recons, and we can report the bugs. Okay, so this is how we can do the name server reverse lookup, and also mail server lookup. By doing this, we will be getting other domains owned by the target. Okay, so we have already seen this TLD enumeration. Using this domain, we can use the byte record at the end, and we can enumerate the TLD. We can enumerate the TLD domains. Okay, so let's talk about the domain Whois search. We got this Whois search field here. So let's take a look at this Whois search. So here we can do the Whois lookup. For example, if you want to do Whois lookup for allegiant.com, then we can use this domain filter, and we can mention the target. Okay, so like it's same like how you do using the Whois CLI utility, command utility, like. So we can do the same thing here. To view this data, email and phone number, we need a subscription, right? Okay, so that no problem. We need only this organization for now. Okay, so we can find this Whois data using Whois utility also. So we can just do the Whois utility. We can just use the Whois utility, and we can ask for the Whois record. So we'll be getting the same record here. Okay, so we'll be getting the organization name, we'll be getting the emails and phone number. Once we got the Whois data, we can do the reverse lookup, right? So by doing the reverse lookup, we can find all the domain name that is matching this reverse lookup data. For example, if you do the reverse lookup on organization name, then we'll be getting all the domain names that is matching this specific organization. Okay, so it will look for this data in the Whois record, and it will pull all the domains names. Okay, it's like doing reverse lookup, Whois lookup. Okay, so here once we found the domain name, domain organization, and email and phone number, using that we can do the reverse lookup. So here let me copy the organization name and let me do the reverse lookup on this. Okay, so we can use the filter. I think we can use the registration dot organization. Yeah, so this is a filter. Okay, so by using this registration dot organization, we can mention our organization name. So this is our organization name, right? We can specify that, and we can we can look up the reverse Whois lookup. We can do the Whois reverse Whois lookup, right? So here you can see we got around 281 domain names, and here we have this domain, and we have this registered information and registered information, technical information, and all of this. And if you take a look at this organization, here you can see it's same here, right? So we are getting the this organization. So this confirms that this domain is belongs to our organization. You can just copy this domain name, and you can do the Whois on this domain name, and you can confirm, you can verify whether this domain is belongs to our target or not. So I have done this Whois enumeration on this domain, and here you can see on the registrant it says the organization name, and email here you can see it's webtechlead@allegiant.com. So this confirms this domain names belongs to our target. Okay, right. So we can just download this data. So like how we did in the previous DNS search, you can download this data. So let me download it. Let's name it Whois data, and we can download this data. So it's around 281, so we can download all of them. Just download it. Okay, so it is downloaded. Let's share this file. Okay, so here we are interested in the here we are getting a lot of data, right? Here we are getting the Whois data and the Whois raw data. So let's ask the let's use this JQ filter, and let's take a look at the first index data. Okay, we'll take a look at the first Whois record. Okay, so this is the first one. We are using this index 0. Here we get the server Whois server, and here we're getting the Whois technical data. Okay, so this is the technical information of this domain, and we have this registered information. It is just a Whois data, so we are getting this Whois data in the JSON format. That's all. Here we are getting the raw data, and also here we are getting the actual Whois data, right? So if you take a look at this administration field, we are getting this administration data, and here we have this domain name. So we need this domain name, right? So we are gonna only filter this domain name. So we got a lot of data here, Whois data, but we are only interested on this domain names. So we can grab this domain names, we can access this data object, and then we can access this domain name, right, directly, and we can download this all the domain name. So let's do that using JQ. So since we're gonna fetch all the domain names, let me remove the 0. Let me index everything. Let me include everything and access the data field, then domain field. Okay, so here we are getting all the domains names. Great. So now we need only the raw data, right? So we can just specify the R, and we can download this data. Whois domains.txt. Okay, so we got all this data. So you can say you can verify whether these domains belongs to our target or not using this Whois lookup. You can do Whois lookup on this specific domain name, and you can take a look at the registered information. Great. So this is how we can do the reverse Whois lookup. So we need to perform the Whois lookup, and we can do the reverse Whois lookup using this Netlas, and we can find all the domain names belongs to our target. Okay, so we just only performed using this organization name. Suppose if there is no organization name and if there is email, then you can use the email here. So instead of register.organization, you can just use the email filter, right? So you can specify this email filter. Maybe you can put the email here. So let's check the email. Let's do the Whois lookup on origin.com. And if you take a look at the registered information, so here we have a registered email, so which is pointing to this email, webtechlead@allegiant.com. You just can just copy the and you can search with it. So this is our registered email, and we are gonna do the reverse lookup. So just do the searching. Okay, so I think I cannot do using this email as per this plan, but you can you got the point, right? You can do the reverse Whois lookup using email, and also you can do the you can use the phone number and other filters also. Okay, so you can use the phone number and you can do the reverse lookup using city, country, and everything, right? You can do the reverse Whois lookup. Great. So this is how we can do the reverse Whois lookup on this Netlas Whois search. And also you can do the IP Whois. Suppose let's do this um, the a record of maybe Facebook.com. Okay, so we're getting this a record. So let's use this filter and let's search it. So here you can see we are getting this information about these IP addresses. So like we are getting this net blocks, right? And here we are getting the organization name, and we are getting this other AS informations also, right? So by taking looking at these organization names and other information AS name, we can confirm that this IP address belongs to our target. And also you can do the lookup by ASN number. Here we are getting the ASN number, right? You can just copy it and you can use the ASN filter, ASN dot number, right? You can use this filter and you can specify the ASN number and you can search it. Okay, so here you can see we are getting 28 documents. Great. Okay, so we are getting all these ranges belongs to the Facebook, right? So we can do this lookup and we can find these CEDA ranges, and again you can do the reverse IP address lookup on this CEDA ranges. Okay. So at last we have this certificate search. So let's see how we can do perform the SSL TLS certificate search using this Netlas. So we have this certificate search module. If we go there, so we can search by certificate. So first let's open the let's open our target main website and let's find out the organization name. So we need organization name. If you once you found the organization name, then you can by using that organization name, we can perform the certificate search. Okay, so let's go to our organization main website. Let's go to www.allegiant.com. Okay, so you can visit our any website, any target domain, and here if you click on this padlock, so here we'll be having the certificate. If we go to this connection is secure, we can click on it. So here we have this certificate is valid. So if you click on this one, you will be getting this certificate. So this is the SSL TLS certificate for issued for this domain. And you can see here in the issued to field, we are seeing this common name www.allegiant.com. So that means this certificate is issued to www.allegiant.com. Only this subdomain. Okay, so this is the only the subdomain. Yeah, this certificate issued to this subdomain. And here you can see we got the organization name. So this is the organization name. Okay, so we can grab this organization name and we can do the lookup. So let's see some other details also. We can do the lookup using this organization name. And if you go to the details, I will show you why we are doing this certificate lookup. If you go to details, here we are seeing the hierarchy of the certificate. So we are seeing a lot of hierarchy. So we need to select this our target certificate. If you select this domain, here we'll be seeing this domain information, like certificate information, version, and all of this. So if you come down a little bit, here we'll be having the subject information. So here with this subject, common name is pointing to www.allegiant.com. That means this certificate is issued to www.allegiant.com. If we come down, here we have this extension, and under this extension, we have this certificate subject alternative name. Okay, so here we have a lot of subdomains, domains, subdomains, everything, right? So this SAN subject alternative name series, right? So this certificate is issued to www.allegiant.com. And also why we can specify this domain name in the SAN field, so that these domains also can use this certificate. Okay, for example, if allegiant.co.uk wants to use this certificate, they can use it, because we have this name in the subject alternative name sites, so they can use this certificate. So like that, they can mention a lot of other domains in the SAN field, subject alternative field. Okay, so we are interested in the SAN data, this domain name. Here you can see we are getting a lot of other SAN domains. Okay, so this domain names maybe belongs to our target. So here we got this interflex.be. Maybe this domain name maybe belongs to our target. We don't know, right? So we need to grab this domain, and we can do the Whois lookup on this domain, and we can find out if the domain name is belongs to our target. So currently we are seeing this SAN field of only one domain. Okay, only this SSL certificate. So maybe maybe the SSL certificate, I think C authority may issued a lot of certificates to the organization, right? So we need to find all of the certificate, and we need to find look up for this SAN field, subject alternative names. Okay, so by grabbing all the domain name from subject alternative names, we can collect all the domains maybe belongs to our target. Maybe we don't know, right? So once we collect the domains, we can do the reverse Whois lookup, and we can verify that also. So this is what we are going to do. We're gonna collect the SAN names. Okay, so this is why we are doing this certificate search. Okay, so you know why we are doing this search. So let's grab this organization name. So this is the organization name. We're gonna do the lookup. So let's copy it and go to our Netlas, right? So here we can go here, and we can do the lookup. So the filter is we need to do the organization search, right? So we can use this certificate filter, and here we have organization, right? Certificate organization. So this is the filter. We can just mention our we can just paste our organization here. So this is our filter, certificate.organization, and we are mentioning this organization name. So we got this organization name from the certificate itself. Great. So let's do the search. Okay. Is there any syntax error? Certificate or no, I need to use subject. Sorry. Yeah. So I need to use this subject, certificate.subject.organization. So here we need to specify our target. Okay, so here you can see we got 381 data results. Okay, so let it will show the data. Okay, so here we got the data. So if you take a look at this name field, so here you can see we got a lot of domain names. Okay, so we can see a lot of domain names and issuer and fingerprint, and this is the certificate. So we can download this data and we can only grab this domain name, right? So we can just click on this download button. So here we are getting 381 results. That's okay. We can just click on this download. So we can download this data. Let's call it as Alangian certificates. Okay. So let's download all of them. Okay, so it is downloading this file. So this is little bit bigger than previous file. So we are getting 3.4 MB. Great. So let's get this file. Allegion set.json. So if you pass it to JQ, you'll be getting all of this certificate, right? So let's pick one of the certificate and take a look at the information. So let me pick the first certificate. Okay, so this is a first certificate. So we are getting a lot of data here. So we're getting all the certificate issuer details and everything. And if you come down, if you come to end, so here somewhere we'll be seeing subject alternative name field. Okay. Okay, I think it's here. Okay, so here you can see we can see this subject alt name. So this is the field we are interested in. Okay, so here we can see the DNS names, and here we can see the DNS domains, right? So let's pick another certificate. So here I'm picking the third certificate. So here you can see we got this subject alternative name and a DNS name. So within here, so we are getting all the domains like tooling.allegiant.com, ams.allegiant.com. So these are these we need to find this data. So we need to grab this data. Okay, so to grab this data, let's take a look at this data itself. So we need to know how to access this domain names, subject alternative names. So here we have this data field. First we need to access this data field, and once we access the data field, we need to access this certificate, right? So we need to access the certificate, and then I think we need to access this extension. Okay, because here we can see this hierarchy, right? So first we need to access this certificate, and here within the extension we have this subject alternative names, right? So like that they have the same format. So within this extension they have subject alternative names. Okay, so we need to access this extension, and then we can access the subject alternative name field. Okay, so we can access this subject alternative names, and once we access this one, we can access this DNS names, which is array, right? So once we access this one, we'll be getting this domain name. So let's do that. So let's remove this three and let's access the data itself. First, we need to access the data. So within the data, we are having a field object called certificate. You can access it using dot certificate. And if you do ls on this, we have accessed the certificate, and now we can access the extension field. So using this dot extension, we can access this extensions. Let's do the ls. So here we are accessing the extensions, and within the extension, here we have this subject alternative names. So within that we have these DNS names, and we have this domain names itself. So let's access the subject alt names, right? Yeah. So now we got this DNS names. So since it's a array, we need to mention that. So we can access these DNS names, and we need to specify the array. Okay. DNS names. Okay. DNS names. Okay. Why you are getting everything? names. Yeah. Okay, so let me put this. What I did something wrong. I did something wrong. Okay. Let me take a look at this slide. Venus names. Maybe I use the quads around this. Okay. So here we are getting all the domain names. So we need only raw data, right? You can specify that using R. So we are getting all the domain names. Just pass it to a file called set domains.txt. Okay, so we have collected all the domains names belongs to our target. Now we can do the we can graph for the subdomains, right? So we can do the graphing on allegiant.com, and we can find all the subdomains, and we can find the all the domains, and you can do the reverse Whois lookup, and you can do the bug hunting on this. Okay, so these are we can perform. We can pass these certificates, and we can get the download the certificate, and we can grab the domain name. Okay, so in Netlas, we have the CLA tools also. So currently we performed using web UI, right? We have a CLA also. So you can use the CLA. So to install that, you need to run the pip install Netlas. Okay, you can run this command. Using this, you can just install this Netlas command. So once we install this Netlas, you can say Netlas. Okay, so here we have a lot of commands like count, download, host, profile, indices, save key. Okay, so first we need to download, we need to set up the API key. For that, we can use this save key. Okay, so you can access this save key, and we need to specify the API key. So you need to specify your API key here. Okay, so it is specify it. Okay, so you need to specify your API key. So by doing this, we will be storing your API key. If we are not willing to store, then we can use the tool without storing the data, but without storing API key. But you need to specify your API key every time. Okay, so for example, using this host command, we can do the we can do the we can access this module host module, and we can do the host lookup, and also we can do the IP lookup. So let's do the host lookup on this. So here, if you are not storing your API key, then you need to specify using this flag, a flag, API flag. If you store your API key using this save key, that's okay. So once you stored, you can just access this profile. Okay, you can just access this profile, and you can see your information. So if you got your information, then your API key is successfully initialized. So after that, you can use access this host field, host command, and you can specify IP address. Previously, we have done this like you can specify domain name like this. Okay, so here you can see we are doing the same. So previously we used the web UI using this host module, right? Now we are using the UI. So here you can see we are getting the a lot of information about this particular domain name. So, subdomain name, right? So we are getting a record, we are getting MS record, name server information, and also open ports. So it's port 443, port 80s are open. So and we are getting the related domains, and we are getting the software information. So technology, tech stack enumeration also. So these all data are passive, right? So we're getting all the technology software information, and also we are getting a lot of information like if you come down, these all are tech information. If you come down, you'll be getting the Whois data also. Here you can see we are getting the Whois data for this subdomain, right? So we're getting a lot of information about this subdomain. And also you can specify the IP addresses. So instead of host name, you can specify an IP address, and you can get a lot of information about the IP address. For example, if I specify this IP address, you'll be getting a lot of information about these IP addresses, like open ports and the domain names, and we are getting the other CIDR information, everything. And here we will be getting the organization name. So this IP address is owned by Google. So if you found IP address, and if you want to know know about the IP address, you can just use this module, and you can just query and data, and you can take a look at this data. So now we are looking at the YAML format. So it is YAML format, right? If you want JSON data, then you can use the F flag. Using format flag, you can specify your format. So now I want JSON format, right? I can use F, and I can mention the JSON, and now I'll be getting the JSON data. So if you want to prettify this one, we can just use the JQ. Okay, so now it will print the JQ. It will print the clearly, right? So you can see, you'll take a look at this JSON format information. You can take a look at these domain names, and if you want to let her pass this information, you can do that. Okay, so and here we have this search. Okay, so we performed search using this UI, right? We have done the DNS search, we have done the Whois search, right? We can do the same using this search. For example, you can do the Netlas search, and you can list the help menu. So you can input API key using A option, and you can specify the modules using D option, data type. Suppose I want to access the DNS, I want to do subdomain enumeration, right? So in this case, we can access this domain module, right? So what we can do, we can just use the D option, and we can specify the module name. So we are accessing this domain module, and previously we have done this, right? So we can specify the domain name .allegian.com. So this is how we have done in the UI, right? We have used this DNS search, and we have performed the same, right? I am doing the same query here. I'm passing the same query here. So we need to specify the module, and we can specify the format. I mean the query into what we want to do. So I want to download the. I want to get the all the subdomains of the Allegian.com. Okay, so you can do that. See here, you can see we are getting all the data in the YAML format. So here we are getting the data, domain name, and the levels, everything. So if you want in the format of JSON, you can mention the flag. Using a flag, you can mention the JSON option, and you can download this. You can see this information in the JSON format. So here you can see we are getting this same data. Cool, right? You can do the, you can just pass this data directly here, and you can just get the domain name. You don't want to download this. You can just do right here. Okay, so like that we can do. If you want to access the JSON, Whois module, then you can access the Whois module. I think using okay. So here we have this Whois IP and the Whois domain, right? So let's use the Whois domain. Let's use the Whois